Anyone out there with any legal prowess would be much appreciated. Love to hear a little bit about what you know legally about the situation in the UK, because I'm just seeing every day more and more boats leaving, more and more people coming, and yet every day the Chancellor's telling us that the country's nearly bankrupt and there's more and more taxes coming. Laughably, I heard there's even going to be a garden shed tax. Can that be true, really? Years and years ago, I think in the 16th or 17th century, there was something called a window tax, where your taxes were relative to the size of your windows. It's getting a little bit archaic and a bit desperate. You know, I mean, they're taking money and looking for every single possible way of squeezing every last drop of money out of the British citizen. And then, on the other hand, giving it all away to people that really shouldn't be coming into the country. They're not qualified, you don't know who they are. It's absolutely outrageous. And is there any legal power out there or any knowledge out there? I see a few barristers online. You guys need to know if the British people are in a position technically to sue the government for all the stress they're being put through. You know, all these millions of people hitting the streets can't be wrong. They're not wrong. And it's certainly not racist, it's pride. In many ways, they should be very pleased that there's this pride. Otherwise, why would they be asking people to go and fight for their country? So on one hand, they're asking young men here to go and fight for their country and die if the worst. God help, I hope they don't. But the worst case situation, at least put their lives on the line for the country. So that's pride. And yet on the other hand, they refuse to admit that flags can be flown. It's a sign of pride. So it's such a hypocritical situation. It really beggars belief that there's any sanity left whatsoever. November the 5th coming up, and it would be quite funny actually to see the whole place just go up, wouldn't it? And instead of poor old Guy Fawkes using these poor old wet barrels of gunpowder, maybe he could have something a little bit more successful, because I think every single human being in the country is absolutely sick to the back teeth of the lies, the scams, the deceit, the letdown, the lack of pride, the lack of integrity, the embarrassment, the shame that has been brought on this country. I'm living in what was a third world country. And I tell you what, I actually have people say to me, you have no idea how pathetic England looks now. We used to look up to the Brits and the English Empire, if you like, and they say, what have you done to the country? Well, I haven't done anything to the country. I've paid taxes and left the country now because I just can't live there anymore. The political correctness started to creep in just at the turn of the millennium, and I'm absolutely convinced that since COVID, there's an awful lot of these Palestinian supporters that have been misdiagnosed COVID jabs. Same with the Dems. Something happened to those people a few years ago, because there's a massive change in thinking, a lack of pride in them, lack of integrity. The overweight, childless, obese, ugly, large spectacle-wearing, pink-haired lunatics that are out there. Really, where do you come from? Which zoo has, interbred you? With what beasts? Because you have no integrity. You hate your presidents and your prime ministers. You hate people more than you love your country. And you will be rooted out, because you know what? Nature is going to deal with you people, because anyone who hates like this is going to be dealt with swiftly. And I've had so much hate mail myself for speaking out, it makes me want to speak out even stronger. Katie Hopkins, Tommy Robinson, your heroes. Donald Trump, you're virtually God to many people. The state of the United Kingdom now, it's not united, it's a bit more united than it was. The state is absolutely now desperate. And you have made people want to do the most abhorrent and worst things ever. I think you should be talking about getting shipping containers instead of hotels. Put these rats in these shipping containers and send them back to where they came from, which is hell. And that's where they belong. Even the people in these Arab countries have said, do not let these people into your country, because we won't. These are the worst Syrians, the worst Africans, the worst of the worst. And they're coming in. And listen, Government, don't you think that once they're in and they've got their religion and power seated comfortably, don't you think they're then going to kick you out, or didn't you think that far? Do you really think you're going to stay in power? Because they will have you out so fast, they will throw you off a roof. They will throw you off a roof like a gay choir boy, I'm telling you. Especially you, Starmer, number 10, which is the minimum age for boys, I believe, entering your bedroom at night. You're an absolutely sick, deviant man that deserves to be removed from society permanently. Say what you like, do what you like. I hope things come to a head very soon. And as for that poor little girl in Ireland, my prayers are with you. I cried when I read that, when I saw that release. I'm filling up now. It's absolutely abhorrent. You deserve to be burnt out of your places, your hotels. You deserve to be burnt alive, you bastards. Amen.